Hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully, you all are doing well. Hopefully, you had a good weekend. We had a great Sunday again. Pretty excited about that. I told you guys a few weeks ago, I just have felt pretty good about the process of everything. When it comes to like research, I've been feeling pretty good about everything, and that has carried over. I know on like the betting side of things, definitely had some early season variance when it comes to the late game situations, like last play of the game, losing on it over and over. But that stuff balances out. It's kind of corrected in our favor a little bit, although Vandy did not help out on the, on the weekend there. Uh, Bama scoring that touchdown with 10 seconds left for no reason. That was brutal. But overall, feeling really, really good about the process. Feeling good about where we're at. I tweeted it out today, but up 26 units the last 30 days betting. DFS has been great. We'll talk DFS more on the first look video tomorrow, but another big week there in the DFS streets. Got really close on DraftKings yesterday. 207 DK points on one of my tournament teams. Was a Jared Goff team with Dowdle and Brees Hall, Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase, who I talked about. I know like we posted the stream clip last night, but felt really strong about Jamar Chase yesterday. Obviously bet him over his yards and 100 plus two, both those hits. So overall, it was a really good Sunday again. And I'm excited for tonight. We're going to close down week 5 with the Chiefs and the Jaguars. We're going to talk about that game. We also have MLB playoffs tonight. So basically, my thoughts on baseball tonight. We have series bets on both these. So I took the Cubs plus 105 in that series, and I took the Dodgers minus 125 in that series. So definitely will be rooting for the Dodgers tonight and the Cubs. Cubs look rough. I don't know. We'll see. These home teams, other than the Phillies, have been feasting in these kind of first couple games of the divisional series, but we'll see what happens. Feel strong about I thought the Dodgers should have been closer to minus 150, so I really, really like them at that minus 125 spot. And then the Cubs, we'll see what happens. Maybe they can even up the series tonight. We'll see. I do have some bets in that game though. So we can talk. We'll talk baseball a little bit quickly first, since I did post some thoughts on Twitter today. I took Shoto Imanaga under strikeouts at 3.5 at minus 135, and then I took him for a 2 unit. I took him under 12.5 outs. So I think that outs play looks really, really strong. I don't really see why, like, even if there wasn't off days, I don't really see why he would pitch deep into this game, just with the nature of the playoffs and how these teams, handle their pitching. They really don't let these guys, unless you're a Tarek Skubal or, you're really rolling like Cam Schlittler was against the Red Sox or something. Like, they really don't let you go deep. And at the early sign of trouble, a lot of these guys are going to get yanked out of the game. And I think that the potential for that heightens when the Cubs are down 1-0. Like, they can't afford to go down 2-0. So at the just earliest sign of any trouble, I think they're going to pull Imanaga out of this game. Now, on top of that, it's a situation where they didn't play yesterday, and they don't play tomorrow. So the bullpen is fresh and ready to go, and they don't have anything to worry about with that off day tomorrow. So again, I don't really see why he would pitch longer than 12 outs. I don't even think he's going to go 12 outs. I think you're probably going to get – there's potential. If he runs into trouble, you see him like one time through the order. So I really like that under. I see on FanDuel it's at 11.5 now. I feel better about it at the 12.5 just for the protection that he goes 4 innings. But I really like that Imanaga under outs play, and then I took him under Ks as well. So that's kind of my thoughts there. I definitely think the Dodgers win this game. Snell's looked really good. Luzardo's good too, but definitely would lean the Dodgers side of that don't need to bet them though, since we already have the series bet. I know we have a lot of Philly viewers, and typically I root for Philly sports, but unfortunately, I'm on the other side of you guys this time. Another awesome week on FanDuel. Yeah, 5-0 in FanDuel cash, which is nice. Had some decent tournament teams there over the last few weeks as well. Didn't have any this week, but I know last week or the week before got really close on FanDuel. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on the baseball games tonight. Just a look ahead before we dive into Monday Night Football. Can we talk about how awesome this college football slate is? I'm going to pull it up. Shout out to Unabated, who we pull up on the streams. We're partnered with them here at Rolling Insights. And we do have an affiliate code with them as well. I don't know what it is off the top of my head or the link. Let me talk to Josh about that. If you guys are interested in trying out Unabated's premium product, which I show off on the stream here all the time, and they have a bunch of other tools, props, DFS stuff, future simulator, prop simulators, bunch of stuff going on there at Unabated. If you guys are interested in trying that out, I think we can get you 30% off with our affiliate link, but I don't have the link on me right now. I'll try and bring that to the stream tomorrow. But let's just talk about how awesome this college slate is this weekend. So first and foremost, Friday night, this is one of the biggest games of the year in Group of 5. South Florida, North Texas, Memphis, like those are the teams really that are competing for that Group of 5 playoff spot. So, this is like a really, really big Group of 5 game. 2 really good teams, 2 teams that we've bet on a lot. So I don't know. I'm going to have to really sit down and think about this one. I like that North Texas team a lot. I like Byron Brown a lot. So I'm gonna have to think about it. But that's gonna be an absolutely electric game on Friday night. And then moving over to Rutgers Washington's like a sneaky fun game too on Friday night. And then on Saturday, there's just a ton of good games. Ohio State over Illinois. I know that's in Illinois, but I could see like early lean, definitely interested in the Ohio State side of things there, even though I don't bet on them that much. Alabama, Missouri is a great game. I need to think about this one because I kind of want to jump in on Alabama to win the national title. And I need to decide, like, if there's a chance that they lose this game, we're going to get a better number on them. Andre, what's up? I don't know. I got to think about this. I kind of want to get in on Alabama to win the national title only because I really respect Ty Simpson and what he's doing. So I need to think about that. But that's an awesome game. Moving down here. UMass Kent State. If you guys are sickos like me, I mean, you know what's going on in this game. This is I might like Kent State is close to me. I might need to like bet Kent State and go to this game. That would be hilarious. Penn State, what a disaster. I mean, oh man, Penn State, what a disaster. I don't know how James Franklin survives this. I'm going to be honest with you. And Jerry Neuheisel there for UCLA coming out and just laying the wood on Penn State was so awesome. That was one of the big takeaways from the weekend for me. And I just don't see how, if you're Penn State, I don't see how you run it back with James Franklin next year. First and foremost, I think they clearly picked wrong at the quarterback spot, keeping Aller instead of Bo. And I just don't, James Franklin is a good football coach. I think he's a good leader of men, but at some point you have to answer for it. Like you have this year after year after year, Penn State is highly ranked and they fail to win big games over and over and over again, which they did against Oregon at home, whiteout. And then you go on the road, like your response to losing to Oregon is you go on the road to a left for dead UCLA team and lose. Like someone has to answer for this. Just lack of production. And the play calling is terrible too, Andre. I completely agree. Kotelnicki has not been good as an offensive play caller. You're not going to get any pushback from me on that. I agree. But I don't like James Franklin coming out after the game and just making excuses. I've never really seen a big time, high profile football coach make excuses for getting your ass kicked. I've never seen that. He was blaming it on everything. He was like, "Oh yeah, we the travel and we lost some guys." What are you talking about, bro? You're telling me you lost a couple players in that Oregon game and you couldn't beat UCLA? UCLA was left for dead. And I don't want to hear any complaints about the travel aspect of it. Come on, man. That's ridiculous to make those type of excuses when you're James Franklin, Penn State, ranked. What were they coming into the season? Ranked number 1 or whatever? Just did not like that at all from James Franklin. So I don't know. I don't see how Penn State brings James Franklin back next year. Who replaces him? I have no idea. I guess we'll cross that bridge, but yeah. Penn State, man. Woof. If you're a Penn State fan, I'm sorry. Katron Allen. Yeah. I don't understand it, Andre. I really don't. And somehow they never have receivers. I don't understand that. They recruit, obviously defense very well. They've had quarterbacks, running backs, but they somehow never have, playmakers on the outside. Obviously, Tyler Warren last year, and they've had some tight ends in recent years, but really since Godwin, I can't really remember the last time we had a really, really good Penn State receiver. I mean, how long ago was that? It was 2016, 2015, 2016 that they had Chris Godwin. I can't really remember a good one since then. But moving on down, TCU, Kansas State. I mean, 2 just terrorist organizations right there. Josh Hoover and Avery Johnson. That game shouldn't even be. That should not be broadcast. That should have to be a radio only game. Couldn't pay me to watch that. Nebraska, Maryland's okay. Obviously, Oklahoma, Texas, big rivalry is really fun. Iowa, Wisconsin being at 7:00 is just ridiculous. I don't understand this. Why is Iowa, Wisconsin at 7:00? Florida, Texas A&M, elite game. Really like that Texas A&M team. Florida, we bet them last week over Texas. They look great. Florida's receivers are absolute dogs. They look so good. So that's a really, really fun one. Michigan, USC is really fun. I kind of like USC in that one. Early lean. Obviously, I haven't even put any college bets in, but kind of lean USC in that one. Georgia, Auburn is very good. Kansas, Texas Tech. Kind of like Texas Tech in that one too. Early lean. South Carolina, LSU. Just a bunch of high profile. Arizona State, Utah. Man, can we go back to Utah? I don't know. I don't know if I can trust them. But I'm definitely down to fade Arizona State at Rice-Eccles, night game. I know a lot of people were backing Utah over, what was that, Texas Tech a few weeks ago at home. But it was big noon, man. They're making them kids play at 10 a.m. The crowd is not going to be as live at 10 a.m. as it is versus a night game. So that's kind of a interesting, maybe potential buy low spot on Utah. I see a lot of, good stuff on the docket for college this weekend. So we'll talk about that more later on in the week, but just wanted to run through that. There's a ton of good games this weekend. Moving on to NFL, though, if you guys have questions on anything, go ahead and ask. I think from a higher level standpoint, these are the games that Kansas City always wins. Primetime game, even on the road, tough to really go against KC here. But I do like the Jaguars to cover the spread in this game. Now, I do think Kansas City will do what Kansas City does and win a one score game. Like they do this constantly. But I did bet Jacksonville plus 3.5. Both teams have gotten a little lucky this year. Now, I feel like a lot of people say that the Chiefs have gotten lucky for years. I agree with that. It's hard to really, it's hard to compute the Chiefs' luck factor when you have the best head coach and the best quarterback. Like sometimes, that type of stuff can overcome, other factors. So, it's tough for me to say the Chiefs have gotten lucky. Like they have the best quarterback and they have the best coach, and they have a really, really good defensive coach too. Like Spagnuolo's arguably the best defensive coordinator in the NFL. Like it's just tough to, say that. On the Jaguars side, they've definitely gotten lucky with some turnovers earlier this year, but at the same time, they rate out metrically very, very well, and they really haven't gotten anything from Brian Thomas Jr. They haven't really gotten anything offensively from Travis Hunter. Trevor Lawrence, I would say, hasn't lived up to his potential. So, I mean, if you look at just the raw kind of, success rate, and now this would be like on the offensive side of the ball, they're 12th. So if you just look at offensive success rate, the Jags are 12th right now. The Chiefs are 14th. So the Jags, despite getting nothing from, BTJ, Hunter, Lawrence has been suspect, still rate out higher than the Chiefs in offensive success rate. And then if you flip that to, defensively, they have, a top 2 or 3 defense metrically in the NFL right now, which ranks above the Chiefs as well. So I think like you can make the case from a team level standpoint that the Jags are better right now. They don't have Patrick Mahomes. They don't have Andy Reid, but I like Liam Cohen. I think Liam Cohen is a good, sharp coach. And I like taking the field goal at home here. So it won't shock me if the Chiefs win this game by 3 points. It will not shock me at all, but I am taking the Jaguars to cover the spread. I don't think that'll be popular. I've seen some people tweet it today, but looking at you're still getting 80% of the spread bets on the Chiefs, 80% of the money. Like most people are not betting Jaguars in the spot, I don't think. But I'm going to go with the Jags, the home team, and take them. I think this will be a close game. Maybe the late game luck, goes in our favor for once. So give me the Jags to cover the spread in this one. From a game standpoint, it looks like Xavier Worthy's going to play. Is he hindered by this ankle that was swelled up over the weekend? I don't know. Do we see, Nathan, I see you in the chat, Brashard Smith receptions. Like, do we see a shakeup in the running back room for the Chiefs with how bad their running backs have been? Yeah, there's definitely potential for that. They're probably looking for a spark at all costs on offense. So definitely could see Brashard Smith playing a bigger role tonight. You know what Mahomes is going to do. You have Kelsey, you have Worthy. Worthy, does a lot for them offensively with no Rice. So having him is big in this spot. And then on the Jaguar side, you can run on KC. KC's pass defense is pretty good. They struggle to contain the slot, which that's been the MO of the Chiefs defense for years. The last 3-4 years, they've had very, very good outside corner play. And, you can get them over the middle of the field. You can get them in the slot. Theoretically, that would say it's a Travis Hunter spot. Now, we haven't seen anything from Travis Hunter really offensively. We've got some coach speak and some speak from Hunter himself saying he's going to play a bigger offensive role, this week and moving forward. He would be in the slot if he's on the field on offense. It's prime time, but I've seen a lot of people on the Hunter stuff tonight, and I do think there's a lot of wish casting there, like we're hoping for it. But the lines are really low. Like his receiving prop is low, his touchdown odds are high, so we have an opportunity to get ahead of it. Like I saw 28.5 for his receiving line earlier. I see 31.5 on FanDuel now. His touchdown odds, I know we're plus 370 earlier. They are, plus 370 now. So same there. So you're getting really good odds on the Hunter stuff if you want to try and get ahead of it. If he is on the field like we think, he should be in the slot, which is going to be the best matchup for one of the Jags pass catchers. If maybe he doesn't play as much, it's probably Brenton Strange, who I would consider, who you're still getting pretty good odds on, like touchdown stuff, plus 390, and his receiving prop is 33.5. So Strange and Hunter are kind of my looks in the Jags passing game. But I think you can run on Kansas City as well. And the Jags rushing attack with Etienne and Tootin has been really good. So this could be a nice Travis Etienne game. Rushing props at 64.5. Tootin's down at 20.5. Definitely think you could see those guys have a nice night. And honestly, I took a little sprinkle on Trevor Lawrence anytime touchdown. Trevor Lawrence's rushing props at 12.5. I think you could see Trevor Lawrence get cooking a little bit in the run game. So obviously that was a big factor in the summer of Liam Cohen talking about how, Trevor Lawrence is very mobile. He wants to use that more than Lawrence has showcased throughout the first couple years of his career. If we look at, his rushing lines this year, it really hasn't been any different than the past. 4 carries for 12 yards in week 1. Then he had 2 for 4, 2 for 9, and 7 for 7 last week. So we really haven't seen him get going rushing. I find it interesting that his line is as high as 12.5. But with how often the Kansas City Chiefs blitz, I think there's opportunity for him to break out and scramble a little bit and kind of counteract that blitz. So if I look at the just blitz percentage from a team level, Kansas City's number 3 in the NFL in blitz percentage, and they're number, 4 or 5 in just blitzes as a whole. So I definitely think that there's an opportunity for Trevor Lawrence to scramble and kind of counteract this blitz a little bit. So I think Trevor Lawrence rushing stuff looks a little interesting. Took him anytime touchdown as well at 6-1, I think is what it was. Let me double check if that's still it. Yeah, he's plus 550. I took him at 6-1. He's plus 550 now. And we've been hitting these primetime, these quarterback rushing touchdowns. Like if you guys think back to earlier, we did it with McCarthy and Caleb Williams in that same game. I could see a similar situation tonight. I could see Mahomes and Lawrence both scoring in this game, especially with just how suspect the Chiefs rushing attack has been. I mean, Mahomes is like their leading rusher right now. So I could see both quarterbacks scoring in this game. I might do that like a fun same game parlay. What would that pay? Let's see. On FanDuel, Mahomes and Lawrence both to run one in. It's like 25-1. So I'm interested in that. First touchdown. Yeah, I took Trevor Lawrence first touchdown, and I took Travis Hunter. Those are just my looks tonight. But yeah, so I like Jags to cover. Kind of like the Lawrence rushing stuff. If you want to try and get in early on Travis Hunter, if you want to try and get in early on Brashard Smith, I definitely think you could take some shots there. From a DFS perspective, probably, I think De'Ami Brown is going to be pretty high owned on DraftKings. They kind of mispriced him. Let me see if I can pull up ownership projections really quick. But I know DK left De'Ami at a pretty low price tag. Yeah, so De'Ami at just 2K on DraftKings looks like a pretty good value play. You obviously have the kickers there. You have the kind of supplemental receivers for Casey after Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Juju. Those guys are down around the 4 to 5K mark. Worthy's up at 88. So I think a lot of people have Worthy, both quarterbacks. Those will kind of be early looks. ETN's at 98 and BTJ's at 10-2. I think there's a chance BTJ comes in lower owned in Showdown just because he's 10-2. And really, we just haven't seen it from him. So if you want to get unique in tournaments, maybe a BTJ captain could be a look. Travis Hunter's at 66. Don't really see him getting much ownership either. So maybe a Travis Hunter captain. It's just like how much is he going to play? I don't know. Kind of a tough spot there. Brashard Smith is 3,200. Probably wouldn't touch him at that price. But Yeah, Diami looks pretty cheap at 2K. Probably the best value play. Kind of like ETN. I could see doing like a Mahomes captain with some pass catchers. Typically in showdown tournaments, I don't like to captain the quarterback, but just because we've actually seen Mahomes running a little bit because their running game's been so bad, I'd probably be fine with Mahomes captain in smaller field. Larger field, I think you have to just default to the receivers in the captain spot usually, unless you go with a running back and like pair him with the defense. So probably do an ETN captain team, and then maybe a Mahomes, maybe like a Mahomes worthy Juju or something like that. I don't really want to play Travis Kelce at 76. I'd probably rather go down to one of the other receivers, Tyquan Thornton even. So maybe a Mahomes and then an ETN captain, and then I might do like a Jaguars receiver captain too, just in case, whether that be Hunter or BTJ. I have to think about it a little bit. Do you like any plays for a ladder bet, Jim? If I was gonna do a ladder in this game, I'd probably do ETN rushing yards, so over 64.5, and maybe like take him up to 100. Trying to keep Mahomes off the field, running the ball. Probably the Jaguars' best bet. So maybe an ETN ladder if I had to do one in this game. Not touching the total. I'd probably lean under if I was going to take something, but not going to touch the total today. Overall, though, that about does it for tonight. If you joined late, go back to the start of the stream. Talked about some baseball bets. Obviously, if you want to jump in with us on any of those, Dodgers, you're not going to get minus 125, obviously, but you'll probably get a better number, obviously, than I took with the Cubs. So if you want to hop in and hope for a Cubs comeback, you can do that. But yeah, pretty excited for tonight. Excited with how well football's been going. I'll be back live tomorrow at 4 o'clock. We'll talk about, recap of the weekend. We'll talk fantasy football waivers. We'll have more baseball playoffs to talk about tomorrow night. And we also have hockey. NHL starts tomorrow night. So maybe we'll put some hockey futures. I don't know a ton about hockey, but I'll put some research in tonight for you guys. And maybe we'll pick some teams. We'll take some futures, and we'll really dig into the hockey streets this year and sweat some NHL futures out. So I'll try and get to that tonight, and we'll talk about that on stream tomorrow as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. Good luck tonight if you're playing DFS or betting. And I will see everybody tomorrow at 4 p.m.